how hard did you push it till I black out? Yes. Numerous times, yes.
Okay. What's happening, Municipals? This is the whole crew. Me, Pax, Big, Jack, together. New year, same us. Slightly different. I think that's what we're going to talk about today. By the time you guys hear this, I think it's probably going to be in early March. So we're going to be talking about goals, but goals we've hopefully been implementing, or goals we will, maybe start anew. It doesn't really matter that January 1st is an arbitrary deadline. We're actually going to jump right into it. Pax is kind of perpetually on dad duty. That's what happens when you have a kid. You're kind of actually always on dad duty. So Pax made some time to talk to us. So Pax, first of all, man, how have you been doing? It's been a minute since we had you on the pod.
Been good. I actually played golf yesterday at the home course. Big C, you'll know about kind of the struggles over
Prairie.
there, but it was raining the entire time. It was a fun time, but yeah, I think that was the second round I've had this year, just because of like the rain and everything. But yeah, glad to get out there, and I'm looking forward to playing a lot more golf. Once the weather starts to get a little better, which hopefully next month.
Yeah, I mean, we've been in that position here. I mean, based off our Instagram, yes, Jack and I have been getting out, but I don't know. It's been bomb cyclone followed by I don't know. It's El Nino can fuck off is kind of what I'm feeling about this right now. But I feel ya. But yeah, Pax, I think I'm not to steal your thunder on this, but I mean, I know that like as a bit of a tease, we're going to be putting out really kind of our first main video that you've produced for us. So I thought that might be a good place. You could talk a little bit about the video you've been working on. The rest of us have kind of seen the final cut. It's excellent, but talk a little bit about that. And then I think that can kind of be a perfect segue into goals. Again, kind of like last year, golf goals you want to do for Municipals this year, personal goals. But why don't you talk a little bit about the video you've been working on, which hopefully folks will get to see soon.
Yeah, I'm really excited for everyone to see it. It's been kind of a long time coming, and I think we did a really good job in trying to loop everything together, like the pod and the video, and there's going to be some really great takes in there, just in terms of like, what Ashton and Chris have kind of thought about what the cookout means to them, and how excited we are that we've created, just this amazing community of guys, of friends, of people kind of from all over, I think all over the country now. But yeah, I'm really excited for everyone to see it. It is of the cookout of last year, and I know we're coming up to the cookout a couple months, but I just really think that releasing it now is going to get everyone really excited for, one, kind of the cookout coming in a couple months, and then just two, of all of the great kind of tournaments or like golf outings that we have scheduled for the rest of the year. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was. I think it was twofold for me. It was one. It kind of like my breath kind of caught on my chest when I saw Pat in the video. I think it's so special that we have kind of like the podcast, and the fact that we have those clips of Pat was really, really special. And then I think the other thing that's really kind of cool is showing it to Liz, is I think it also gives our partners because they hear about the cookout, they see the merch, some of the pictures, but it's kind of fun to be able to go like, oh, that's Kanan and that's Munda, and that, these names that our partners hear, and suddenly they're on the screen, right? And to your point also too, is a, hashtag marketing. Like the cookout, with how we're doing kind of the numbers, I don't know the cookout will ever kind of again maybe be open to new people, maybe not. But the Crab Shack, we're currently, our tournament that Chris is running in Oregon, we have open spots there. We're gonna have a travel tournament next year, so hoping that people can kind of use this to understand what we're trying to do with our tournaments, keep it very affordable, very fun, very competitive, and really just make it where you circle your calendar to see a group of people. And I think it really hit that. So I can't wait for people to see that. But Pax, take us into your goals, man. What's top of mind? I mean, obviously being a dad, keeping kiddo alive is probably number one, but you, like we talked about, you moved, you got a new job, you had a baby. Your goals could be like just exist. That's totally fine. But I am curious kind of what's top of mind for you right now.
Yeah, I think top of mind definitely exist. I'm about 3 months into the new job now. It's kind of crazy that I am, kind of new into my role, but at the same time, it feels like I've been there for like a year, which I guess however you take it is good or bad. But I love the new team that I'm on and the stuff that I'm working on. So yeah, really excited for everything to come there. I think some of the things that I'm excited for this year in terms of golf is getting my son out onto the course. He won't be able to swing a club or walk around even now, but really excited to get him out there and kind of just get him exposed to the game. And I know I won't probably be able to get 18s in all the time, but sometime after work, me and the kid kind of going out and playing a quick 9 at actually the course that's really close to here, which is about 2 minutes away. Chris, Hawks Prairie. Good track. 2 18s. One is kind of like a links style course, and then the other is more like, I don't think I've ever played that one actually, but it's more like foresty.
It's a very woodland.
A lot of blind shots and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, really, that's gonna be my number one goal, is to get out there and try to play 9s after work, and hopefully some 18s, sprinkle some of those in every once in a while. But yeah, with a new kid, like, it's tough to get 18s, tough to get a full round in. But yeah, I don't know. For me, like, I feel like if I don't play an 18, I don't really want to play, if that makes sense. So a goal of mine is to hopefully get in more 9s than 18s, especially with the course being so close. And, there's so many tracks out here too, that I would love to play. So that's definitely a goal of mine. And then 2, just, fitness is a big thing. Get back into that. Definitely tough with the winter, and trying to, I don't know, not be inside all the time. But yeah, with the weather coming up, hopefully it'll be a lot better, which I'm really looking forward to. And then another goal is just honestly to explore Seattle and explore this area a lot more. Just to kind of preview, we moved up from Portland, which we've been down there for 10 years and kind of know that area really well. And moving back home, I have no idea what's around. I moved away before I was drinking age, so I don't know any bars or anything like that. Just trying to figure out good breweries or good bars or restaurants. Really exciting, to do that with a new kid and a family nearby too. Really looking forward to that.
Pax, you do know you're not supposed to take. You're not supposed to take kids to bars, right? You know this, right?
What was that?
You're not supposed to take kids to bars. Come on. I'm just giving you shit. Dude, but you've got the city where you're at, there's so much to be able to go and see. Like Port Angeles is fantastic. Olympia is really good. There's great places. I mean, my family all lives up there. They're they're all within 15 minutes of you. So you definitely got some great place to be. But don't be taking an 8-month-old, 9-month-old to bars. What are you doing?
Chris, we can't understand you at all. We can't understand you at all. It's incredible. It's like it sounds like you put a bunch of words in like a blender, and I don't know why it's making me laugh so hard. I can't understand anything you're saying.
I think I know where you're getting at, though. There's a lot of courses out in this area. Chambers Bay, Trophy Lake, Indian Summer, and then up north there's like Washington National. I think that's the one that the Huskies play at too. But I hope I'm on the right track there.
Okay, Pac. So to summarize, you want to play more golf, but really kind of leaning into nines, especially with your son. You want to focus on fitness, which I imagine that's been quite hard. I've heard a lot of stuff about dad back and things like that. So get back into fitness, and then explore your new home. Explore Seattle. Explore some new places. One thing we'll talk about this at length later, but we've booked our first kind of trip, Municipals trip, just the four of us to capture some content. So I think that's going to be a really cool, that's going to be, I mean, the video for the cookout was just you kind of organically capturing things, but that's going to be really cool to kind of give you, in the same way that we finally been giving GAC, oh my God, it's because you put GAC on your name, ingredients on social. It'll be kind of cool to see you, with the camera and kind of a vision really leading our trip. We won't yet say where, but it's going to be great to kind of throw you the keys and say, Pax, this is your thing, man. What do you think? That's going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm really excited about being able to go on this trip with you guys, and our whole thing around public golf, and really just being able to tell that narrative story around public golf, why we love public golf, why we're crazy to go on these trips to these places just for 48 hours or 3 days, or however long we're there, and I really think that our audience is really gonna love just our take on everything. I know we've created a community around why people love this game and why people love the public aspect of this game, and I'm just really excited to being able to share that with you guys, and being able to enjoy really great food, really great I don't know, just scenery and all of that stuff. So really looking forward to all of that.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be a little summertime, which will be nice too after all this rain.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, I think
what do you say, Mr. Big?
From the guy that's been putting his blood, sweat, and tears into this, I can't wait to share this trip with you guys, because I mean, I have put a substantial amount of work in here, and I think, yes, we do definitely want to show the public side, but I think it's more about showcasing, being able to go on these trips without having to go to these golf resorts, having the opportunity to just pick a city. There's good golf everywhere. And I think that's something that I think is going to be really fun, where you and four guys can just experience a different part of the country and play a different side of golf that you haven't been able to play. You can find good golf anywhere. You don't have to go to the Bandon, the Stream Songs, the Sand Valleys of the world. Like, there's good golf everywhere. And I think that's one thing that we want to showcase, where if you're balling on a budget, you can just throw a dart at a map and pick a city and just plan out a trip. And I think that's one of the coolest things about public golf is there are so many opportunities to find just gems across the country that nobody has stumbled across or just might not be talked about because it's not polished like your true resorts are.
Yeah, exactly. And I think again, throwing 30 of the keys packs and saying, here's your template, go do it is going to be great. So, producer Pax, thank you for making the time. Those sound like very reasonable goals. And yeah, I can't wait for updates of you and your son kind of out on the course playing 9 holes. That's going to be, that's got to be probably one of the sweetest memories once it happens and this rain clears up. So, thank you for joining, Pax. We'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Okay. Well, it's great to hear from producer Pax. Gentlemen, how are we doing? Big C, Blueberry Boy, how are we doing tonight?
Blueberry Boy.
Put the daughter down for ready to talk yearly goals with you guys. My main goal is to be able to touch my toes by the end of the year. I'm shitting you. That is one of my goals.
Flexibility is king. I love that.
Flexibility. That's my main goal. I don't think I've been able to touch my toes since I was in my early 20s.
Can't touch my toes. Maybe that should be a Municipals goal. The year of like the year of stretching.
Yeah. I mean, since I think I played football in high school, I think I've been able to touch my toes. Look at Jack. Producer, I guess we can't call you producer. I guess we call you social media Jack now.
He's producer Jack.
Always producer Jack.
Wait, what do you mean touch your toes? Like from standing?
If you're standing straight up with your legs straight, touch your toes standing straight up.
Oh, okay.
This is great podcast content as we all try to
great podcast content. But yes, that is one of my main goals this year is I want to touch my toes by the end of the year, being able to do that standing straight up on a tee box, about ready to throw a drive out there. So that's one of my main goals. Outside of that,
let's say hello to producer Jack, and it's gonna be a conversation. I love that you.
I'm excited. I'm excited for goals.
Flexibility.
Jack, please speak. We would love to hear what's going on with Jack.
Big Gumby. That's gonna be his nickname. Big Gumby.
Son of a bitch.
Jack, how we doing, my man?
Let's hear from buddy.
I'm doing good, man. This is already an awesome episode. As far as all the work.
I also mean completely unhinged, but that's what happens when you get the 4 of us together.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. I'm doing great. I'm excited for this pod. I mean, we'll get into it, but obviously it's February and there's already some of these things that we've been working on for a minute. So, 2024 is going to be a really good year.
Yeah. So if we can just other than the rain, it's already been great. So I agree. Who wants to lead us off? Who's feeling inspired? I guess maybe Big Gumby is because he was ready to just give us all the goals. So
one thing? Why don't we do it? Yeah, why don't we, Big Chris, you kick us off, but let's do golf goals first. Golf goals go around and then go do if we want to talk about any outside of golf goals, we can do that after.
Okay. Yeah. And do you want to go 1-1-1, or do you want to just kind of go down? Maybe just kind of go down the list. We can compartmentalize and kind of talk about and give each other feedback, because there's something that I was thinking about that. I know this is kind of taken from No Laying Up and kind of their year of, but I think for us it should be the year of accountability, right? Because I went back and listened to our old ones, and we've all just said stuff where it's we didn't even come close, right? And I think we say this in a loving way, right? But it's if you're going to lose 5 pounds, fucking check in. How's it going, right? Can we support you, right? So we don't get to the end of the year and it's Chris is I have not leaned down since February 19th. That'd be a problem, right? If you want to stretch, that's probably, I've talked about club head speed. I haven't touched the stack since, I don't know. I can't even tell you. That's a problem if you want to gain club head speed. So I think maybe we can compartmentalize to make sure that we're actually supporting each other in these goals. So, Big C, take us there. Golf goals. What you thinking about this year?
So outside touch and toes, I my goal last year I've continued to come through this year, and that's continue my plan with Andy Morris, my teaching pro. And so we're about halfway into where we'd like to be. So about 6 sessions in, it's been really beneficial. I've seen a lot of change in my swing. I mean, if anybody has watched any of our early stuff that Jack's put on social media from like a couple years ago, and then look at my swing now, you will see how much flatter I am getting it. I mean, it is insane, actually, how much flatter I am getting it. Now it's more of meeting in the middle.
I was going to say, some people are asking if it's too flat, Chris.
It is too flat. So
Okay.
we had to go the opposite to work our way back to the middle, because there was no way for me to
like that, Jack?
marginally be able to go down. So, like, yes, I'm definitely a little bit too flat right now. It's getting me to kind of have insight, which I've had my entire life. It's always been a wipey right miss if I'm going to miss anything, which no longer exists. It is an inside straight pole if I'm going to miss anything, which is good. That just means that I'm making a change.
Yep.
But the misses have become more and more and more minimal now that we're getting to the goal of where I want to be with my swing. So what we've done, what me and Andy have been able to accomplish has been really, really good. Completely has overhauled my grip, completely overhauled where my face angle starts, where my shaft angle is starting at address. So it is a whole new swing to what I've been doing in the past. So more efficient, less effort. So it's been really, really good. I've been seeing incredibly good things with the driver. So that's been a massive improvement. Still need to get some distance back, but again, I'm in the same boat Ashton is, where I don't have the stack system like Jack and Ashton are using. I use speed stick system just because I've had it from past and I wasn't going to go buy a new system. But it's more staying on that routine, which I've done the last 3 weeks. So I'm 9 sessions in 3 weeks with my speed stack system. So, it's going well, but my goals are going to maintain. I don't think there's anything that's changing from here. It's continually work with Andy, working on my swing, using the speed sticks to gain a little bit of speed back. And then flexibility is my main thing for me, because it is absolutely atrocious right now. But that's about it. What about you, Jack?
Oh man, laundry list. No, one thing I would just say, I definitely agree, Ashton, as far as I think this year is definitely, we've talked about it going into the new year's, like we want this to be a little bit more of a accountability year. So I think hopefully we can do, maybe what we can do is just like post some of these goals that we have on social media, and like every quarter or something, like do like a reel with, here's our quarterly update of where we're doing with these goals. Cause I think that'd be pretty fun to kind of track a group of friends and how they're improving, not just on the golf side of things, but if we want to do our personal goals too. But, yeah, for me, my theme of the year is basically just speed maximalism. I think I've talked to Ashton about this a little bit, but I don't even really care where the ball goes. Well, I do care, but I just want to hit it far as I can. So basically this kind of started already in like November/December of last year. Kind of continuing a little bit into just some of the pseudo speed training I was doing with like basically 3 times a week, like hitting about 100 balls with driver, just like swinging as fast as I can, like trying to reach a maximum ball speed. Um, but now with the stack, like I've been really good as far as sticking with the program. So um, there's really a lot more of the gains have been more on the cruising side of things, big. So definitely what you're saying about being super consistent with it is like really where it's at. I think since early December, mid December, I've seen like my cruising speed jump about almost 8 miles per hour or so. Like I was cruising around 103 and it basically like right now I'm cruising around 110 and 111. Um, so speed maximalism is a goal, and the measurement for that is basically for me like I don't have like a specific number in mind as far as like, oh, I want my cruising speed to be this number, but I want to do all of the stacks different protocols. So basically on their app they have like I think it's like 7 base protocols that they do, including the foundation one. So I think I'm right on the start of phase 3 for mine. So my next workout is the last of phase 2, then goes into phase 3. So after that, there's like 7 other workouts, and I calculated how long it's going to take. And it's basically 9 months worth of programs, depending on how you do it. But so yeah, speed maximalism, like I don't really like I'm not too invested in like handicap because I kind of just want to see how that naturally grows. But obviously with handicap, like keeping score is like I still expect there to be some gains as far as that, but golf game overall, like top priority is like how fast can I get the club head speed by the end of the year. Um, the second part is like making more kind of like structured changes to my swing. So I think in the past, like it's basically been like learn how to hit cuts and then like do it by trying to hit 1,000 cuts every week or something like that. So this time around, it's I've been more meticulous about how I'm trying to do that. So the first thing I did was working on a grip change. Um, and then really the 3 kind of like checkpoints on that is um, grip change, which is still going on. That's probably going to be like a good process for a couple months. I don't know if you guys remember, I was obsessed with talking about running the thumb, which was like based off of a Lee Trevino article. Um, so that's been working out really well. Like I barely ever like shut the face a lot now. So it's not that I'm like hitting just like queefy, like high cut shots, but the miss is just like 3 yards right with a 7 iron and then just like 8 to 10 yards short, which is better than like, 20 yards left and 10 yards farther than what I wanted to go. So, um, and then the other part of the swing structure is really at some point this year, like shortening the backswing, is the big thing, like not getting as deep into the turn. So that's kind of, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do that. But overall, I'm kind of working with Josh, my manager, he's a PGA teacher. He's a +6 handicap. He used to teach, but he doesn't really take on it on students anymore. But I'm just working on a few other things like, proper transition and things like that. But those aren't really like the big priorities as far as the swing structure. It's mainly grip and shorter backswing through the end of this year. Um, Other golf stuff, really, for me, and these two, it's more about on the scoring side of things. It's starting. This is like a March start goal for me. Kind of once the El Nino is all died down and the weather's a lot better. Um, like seriously tracking the Tiger 5. I think in January there were like probably like 5 or 6 Scott Fawcett Decade Golf podcasts that popped up in the last month. So he's kind of been in my ear about the Tiger Five. So I'm going to spend about 3 months really tracking how I score those goals, or how I score on the Tiger Five stuff. So that should be really interesting to see how that really affects scoring. And then last year, was one of my goals was 3 rounds in the 70s. Um, I like I was really stuck on like 2 rounds in the 70s, and then like 3 or 4 rounds in the low 80s, and then 2 rounds in the 70s. But I broke through that, I think, in August of last year, where I had 3 rounds, two at Moffitt and one in Calibe, of it being in the 70s. So this year's goal is 5 straight rounds in the 70s, which early in the year, up until Corica 2 weeks ago, I was like 3 rounds in, and I had 3 rounds like 76, 77, 77, or sorry, 76, 78, 78. And so that's kind of my one other, like, oh, like it'd be great to see this happen. So golf wise, just a couple of things there, just to recap: speed maximalism, some swing structure work, and then a couple of things in scoring here. So really excited for some of these, and being just more meticulous and systematic about trying to achieve this. What about you, Ashton? What are we looking at as far as golf for Mr. Moss this year?
Yeah, I can also tell you, Jack. Just I pretty much not working right now. I play most of my golf with you during the week. Like, I haven't said this to you, but like, you've definitely gotten better. Like, it's been noticeable that you're better. You still have the occasional shot that scares the shit out of me, like that the tee shot on two with a 3-wood that you didn't even cold shank it. You hit it off the toe and almost
Oh
killed
yeah,
the people. You hit one of those in a while where I'm like, I don't know how that happens, but your golf game is like noticeably better. So yeah, like I think I'm eager to see what it looks like in June and October, because it's noticeably better from November. It really is. So good work
thanks,
there.
man.
So some similar as last year, some a little bit different. God damn it, I want to break a 2.9 handicap. I told you guys the story last year of my put in the score. It was going to be 2.8. I got PCC'd. It was a 2.9. It just drives me crazy. Like, I really want to break past that. Um, and also kind of from chasing scratch, you have to taste the twos. Like, it was in that zone around, like, it felt like an imposter syndrome, but I want to get back there. I mean, I'm at a 4 now. I'm not far, but I want to get there. This is something I've been talking to Hussey a lot about. I want to compete in one individual and one team, like, larger event, meaning like NCGA or larger. So Hussey and I are actually talking about we're going to try to qualify for the NCGA 4-ball in May. And then actually I was texting Big earlier, forgot to put on the calendar. Our Municipals trip is at the same time as the NCGA Mid-Am. So that's going to be a 2025 goal, unfortunately. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm like, Hussey and I are going to try for the NCGA AM. Going with reasonable expectations. We're going to be playing kids who are like, insane college players. But I just want to put myself in the cauldron more, right? Like last year, I kind of was like, I want to play more golf that matters. And I just want to do it once, right? Like one team thing, one individual thing. If I do more than that, awesome. But make that where when I step on the first tee of, the NCGA Mid-Am in 2025, I'll be nervous, right? But it's not this feeling around like, what is this? I don't belong here. Really kind of go in there with some confidence. I want to win the cookout. Just selfishly, like that it's fun to win the cookout. Sorry to you guys there, but and then some stuff. I want to get back to a less than a month. So it's not surprising at all that when I was playing the best golf of my life in June of last year, I was seeing KP every 2 weeks. And sort of like life just happened, because how it basically broke down was I got into this like it was just like bad luck where like I was scheduled bi-weekly, But the weekends where I wasn't scheduled, I was free, and then the weekends I was scheduled, we had stuff going on. Um, and it just there was like a 4 or 5 month period I didn't have a lesson, and unsurprisingly, my handicap kind of started to balloon. And I saw KP a couple weeks ago, and unsurprisingly, it was really helpful. I wasn't nearly as far off as I felt like I was. I played a couple really good rounds since then. So it's really simple. Just go see him once a month because, I need a second set of eyes. He knows my golf swing. And so I did February, and then obviously going to go see him again in March. So that's that one. The other one, this is more abstract, and Jack, this is kind of for you. You've really I've really enjoyed. I feel like we've had a lot of cerebral conversation on the golf course recently. Um, I feel like I just want to like understand my swing better. I think a major gap for me going from where I am now, somewhere between like a 2 and a 4, to really having the potential to be like a +1 or a +2 or better, is I'm really bad at like on course adjustments. Um, like Jack has seen it where it's like the other day, like I played a match on Sunday that I won, but like on the seventh hole, I kind of developed this like pull thing with my driver. And I like didn't know how to fix it. Like, and I know you're not supposed to be fixing stuff on the golf course, but for being the, I feel weird saying this, but for being the, a low single digit handicap, I'm not good at adjusting. Like, okay, that was a pull. I just got to tweak this little thing, and I tend to actually get further off the rails. And it can go the opposite way too. Like I played 2 weeks ago, and I started off bogey, double, par, bogey. So it was 4 over through 4, and then I played the last 14 holes in 2 over. I kind of got it right, but I want to just have a better understanding about my golf swing and about my golf swing, so that if I hit a pull tug, I can then fix it. And again, not golf swing, but like if I'm playing in competitive rounds and I hit a pull, to understand what that is and make a minor adjustment. Like Jack has really helped me with that because, or he's been like, you need to understand that better so that when you get put in pressure situations, it's not just, well, we're just going to keep going. Like, no, man, like little adjustments. So that's something I really want to do. And then 2 stack sessions per week. Like I know there's a formula, and they want you to do stuff. For whatever reason, I just have been bad at this. I think the weather hasn't helped. Like, no, if this is not meant to say it's easier for you, Jack, but like, when you're in the studio with no customers with the TrackMan, that's a lot easier than like it's monsooning outside and like I don't want to go in my backyard and do the stack, right? But I want to do it because I think when I was in with Jack getting my new driver fit, I'm at 114 club head speed. Like, there's no reason I can't be at like if I try at all, there's no reason I can't be in the high teens or hit like 120 club head speed this year if I try at all. I'm starting with a very high baseline. I've invested in the equipment to do it. I just have to go do it. So, break 2.9 handicap, compete in one individual and one team event, win the cookout, better understand my golf swing, one lesson a month, at least 2 stack sessions per week. And all that feels very, because like the handicap goal is going to come from the other stuff. The competing stuff, I just got to sign up for. Cookout, already playing in it. Understand the golf swing is tied to a lesson with KP, and then I just got to get my ass out there and start swinging faster. It's not that hard, right? Um, but yeah, I feel, again, there's already been some exciting things, and God, Jack's driver fit for me was really really helpful. And that thing, when it's good, is good. I just got to understand more things about it to, like with Jack, like when he sees my -1 attacking with driver, he's like, swing up, and it's like, Jack, I'm now 3 degrees up. It's like, yep, like swing up, right? So more of that. So those are my goals this year. Golf goals this year. Does that all feel? Because I like to solicit feedback. Does that feel good, reasonable? Am I missing something? You guys know my golf game. You know me very well.
Very attainable, very obtainables. Not far off from where you. And playing in 2 events just like playing extra golf.
Yeah. What do you think, Jack?
Super obtainable.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'd be interesting, like we said this year, like the year of accountability. It'd be interesting to see where like I think the way we do this is like October or so, we listen to this podcast again and then do
Yeah.
the goals, like end of year goals pod in November and really like put some kind of like metrics to it, like as best as possible. It's like, hey, like where's your club head speed now? Or
Hmm.
big, let's see a video of you touching your toe.
God, that's the content people want. Big touching his toes in December.
Every week I'll just post a video of me with a ruler next to me
Yeah.
touching my toes, and we'll just see how far I go every single week.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
see if I
wait.
get
Yeah, once a month.
yeah.
It's just like big with a ruler. He's like trying to touch his toe.
These are the things people want. That's for sure.
I'm pretty sure we've had conversations about Big having an OnlyFans. Like
No,
this would be one of the pieces of
me.
content.
It was me licking golf balls. Remember?
Yeah.
For
OnlyFans trash and licking golf balls.
For listeners to the pod, I just had a habit of if I'm on the green and there's something on my ball, I would just use my tongue to get it off. And I think that Jack once made the comment that certain like Japanese businessmen would pay quite a bit of money to watch me do that, which couldn't possibly say. Maybe Jack goes on different parts of the internet than I do. But I can happy to say I've stopped putting my golf ball in my mouth, especially too because we were on a golf trip to Vegas one time. And the starter told us that Peter Jacobson developed mouth cancer because he would suck on his
Because
golf
he
ball.
was stuck on his golf ball.
So I'm not gonna lie, like that sounds like total bullshit, but also like it definitely made me think about it. So
Well, you also grew up in the land of places where they painted the grass to keep it green.
I'm not saying I'm smart. You had a fake tooth and ate peach gummies. Like we all do dumb shit.
Pax,
Hey.
this is the preview.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my god. But yeah, no, I think that's the big thing because I'm not saying this to like make fun of you, Big, but like I just don't want it to be a year where like we say stuff like you've talked about your fitness stuff, right? And you're like bought the stuff for Doc, didn't touch it once. Like I mean that was one of the funniest things I ever heard when you carried the Amazon box. But like we have to make sure that like Big stretch me do stack, right? Like there are things that like we seem to not want to break through on, and we just got to go do it. And yeah, I don't want to fire up this podcast in December and be like, didn't compete, I didn't get a lesson. Like, what are we doing? Right? Like, we care about this stuff. We're all friends. We can hold each other accountable. So, do you guys have? Yeah. I've got a couple things maybe, but do you guys have some non-golf stuff that's top of mind? Big, do you have anything?
Not really goal related, just things that I'm excited about for this year.
Yeah, hit us.
I think it's more excitement. I think we have a lot of things on the docket. Previous years, it's been the cookout. We get to see everybody. It's the one chance, that we get to see everybody because, me now being down here, a lot of our other friends, like Linda, has moved down to Southern California. One of our great friends and buddies of the podcast, Chris C, is now down in San Luis Obispo. So, a lot of our friends have moved away. So having multiple events that we're going to be able to get people together at to see more people more often. And then, again, our travel trip. I mean, we've been talking about this for 2 years now, doing this travel trip. We tried to execute it last year and babies happened. So we postponed it for this year and it's actually happened. We got plane tickets, we got Airbnbs booked, we've got, a rental pickup truck rented. So it's we've got it all lined up and I've even got a liaison for the city that we're going to that's helping us plan this entire thing. I'm not going to say who's channel on YouTube. I've been going back and forth with and getting some details about the area that we're going to, because he'd give it away because that's the only place that he actually really talks about. But it's good to have somebody local that's getting involved and helping us with this, because this is going to be great content, and I can't wait to share this video with everybody. If you've liked Tour Sauce and you've liked Strapped, I mean, it's basically Tour Sauce and Strap smacked into one. That's kind of what
but in King Abdullah Economic City, which many people have not seen, so it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
The whole trip was paid for by the PIF. It's a joke. I'm sorry. Royal Greens Public Golf. You can pay to play. No, sorry for interjecting Liv into this conversation.
It's more just excitement this year.
Yeah,
to see you guys more, and and just excited to expand it even more next year. So, it's a huge jump from where we were at last year with just the cookout. Now we've got the Crack Jack at Gerhardt in September. We've got our travel series. So massive jump.
Yeah,
from where we were at last year.
Well, and stuff too, I think is worth noting, like, not to like toot our own horn, but I think that, like, we've talked a lot about the last couple of years about sort of finally getting our ducks in a row, and like you've probably noticed, like, there's like social content coming out on a schedule, right? Like, we finally created a content calendar. I finally created a way to like capture content when I play golf by myself, right? Like, Jack is dialed in, like Pax is getting this video out. So it's like, we talked last year about our 4 pillars, and I think you're actually hopefully already seeing this year, seeing those things start to be done, right? Where like 2 tournaments are up and running. Probably this summer we'll start talking about our 3rd and final tournament. You can expect regular social media posts. There's going to be like our video content, and then of course the podcast every 2 weeks. And like, it's, at some point we'll talk kind of merch and stuff, but that's it, right? Like, we have lives and other stuff going on, but if we can do like an occasional merch drop with cool stuff, a podcast every 2 weeks, a video when there's something to do a video about, and then kind of regular social media posts, that's us, right? That's what we're trying to do. And then once in a while we have on a cool guest or someone who wants to come on. Awesome, right? And that's kind of not all we want to be, but like, we're not trying to like reinvent the wheel here. It's like, this is what hopefully people think we're good at, what they enjoy us listening to talk about. And it already feels, in the same way that Jack sort of was laying the groundwork in November for how he's seeing his golf game, it actually feels that the conversations we had in early December are starting to have, fruition, right? Because think about the Golden Gate Park, right? Like, I would have not filmed anything. And, that the video that, like, no, I'm being dead serious, right? Like, that video only happened because I actually had a way to capture it. And then, like, we put it on the calendar and we scheduled this and planned ahead. Like, I'm not trying to toot our own horn for like having a calendar, but we are kind of finally to the point where we're starting to get things a little bit more dialed in. And I'm with you, Big. That's really exciting. And to your point, by the time we go on this trip, we didn't ask you to do this, but like, you're going to have spent like 200 hours on this trip. Like, that's where you thrive, right? Like, you're Mr. Notebook and all these ideas. Like Jack and I are going to help, obviously, but like, Pax is kind of the creative vision. You're Mr. Golf Trip. Let's go see what happens, right? Like, it's been a long time coming, but I'm with you. I'm very excited. Jack, outside of golf goals or anything you want to kind of share or talk about, think about?
Yeah, I mean, besides like spending time with you guys, I think we're once in a while we'll text each other like every couple months of like, yo, when the fuck was the last time we saw each other? So definitely stoked for both the cookout and Minneapolis, and then maybe some other random stuff that we get into in between that involves us guys and maybe seeing Hussey or something. But super excited for that. Generally, I think for me, this is also like a career year in terms of it's been really fun doing what I've been doing in the golf industry, but I'm kind of ready to just figure out the next thing. So that's something I've been working on over the last month or so of like, hey, like what are my options out there? So, still TBD, but not really planning on staying at club champion that long, but yeah, it's been super fun to just be in the industry and like have access to TrackMan every day and like pick people's brains about the golf swing and golf technology and all that stuff and being able to go to the PGA show. But yeah, just figure out the next thing. But besides that, really two other things that I'm like kind of want to check the boxes on is just health for me. Funny enough, I thought I was gonna start with this as part of my golf goals, but I was gonna be like, actually, like flexibility is also one of my goals. Mostly kind of like lower body mobility and stuff like that. So there's some things that I want to be able to do physically. And then this started as a joke at the end of last year, but when I was in the Marine Corps, one of the physical fitness tests that we had to take every year was you had to run 3 miles under a certain amount of time. And every year that I was in, I never ran it over 20 minutes. So that's one of my goals is to run 3 miles under 20 minutes again, which basically you have to have a pace of like right under 7 minutes or so. So my like slowest time that I ever ran was like a 19:30, I think. So if I could beat that this year, like that would be, I'd be like, holy shit, like I could still do it at 34 years old or whatever. Um, and then explore and re-explore some stuff within the Bay Area. I used to be able to like go up and down like Northern California a lot, but not so much for work now. Most of the trips are just golf, but kind of have a list of different um, restaurants and outdoor stuff that I want to do this year. So um, yeah, you guys will see some like pictures and stuff on my versus golf account, a lot more of like food and hiking and whatnot, hopefully. So just those are like really the only personal things that I kind of want to get into. But um, the other really overarching thing is I think there's been a couple of conversations like not just with us, but also with other people outside of just the usual suspects that I hang out with of like I was thinking about this. This was like a really old conversation that we had, probably like right around the first time we all went to Rustic Canyon together. One of the things that we had talked about was how it's really hard to make friends as an adult male. And I think one of the biggest things that I really want to, and this isn't really like quantifiable, I think it's more so just beyond just the golf, like being able to spend quality time with the friends that we've made in our network. So and hopefully some of the stuff we do at the cookout, some of the stuff we do for the golf trip would really kind of be the like the measurement of that is just being there and being present. So I'm really excited. That's one of the reasons I'm really excited for all these different things.
Yeah, I think that would be the underlying goal for the Municipals this year is more friends. I wouldn't say more friends, less golf, but more being friends with golf. And it's, like it's been one of our biggest, I wouldn't say complaints, but feedback things that we've gotten from the cookout is that people want to spend more time together, and get to know each other, especially because the cookout has been such a tight knit group. We've kind of locked in the numbers. People really want to get to know everybody that's in attendance. And I think that's one thing that I spent probably more time on for our trip, for the Municipals trip, for our video that we're going to be creating is, you're definitely going to see a lot of golf in these videos, but there's going to be a lot of not golf in these videos. And I think that's one thing I'm excited for people that listen to the pod, anybody that knows us, anybody that's going to be new to the Municipals, is to get to know us. And I think that's in our friendship and why we've been doing this for so long and why we continue to do this for so long, and the love that we all have for each other. I think that would be the big standout in this video is, the golf and going on these trips, but being able to take your 3 buddies with you to a random city and just have the time of your lives. That's what we're trying to show here. And you don't have to spend a lot of money to do it. That's why I'm saying you pick a fucking city and find some decent golf courses, go out and see a game, hit a couple breweries. We all are coffee snobs, so big thing that we're all going to be really excited about where we're going is every morning we're going to get up and try a coffee shop. And those kind of things, we all bond on that outside of golf. And I think that's going to be one of the coolest things about everybody coming out to the Crab Shack. 95% of people coming to this have never been to Gerhardt, if not Oregon. And being able to experience a new place, and new things, new people. So, I'm really excited for all of the experiences that we're going to have this year, more than even just the golf.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, I guess some of this kind of overlaps with golf, but I think the big thing for me was, it's weird through Municipals and through y'all. We have a very big tent of friends, but in some ways it's kind of, not that it's closed, right? But it's you can rattle off the names of kind of like the people who are kind of the people we do play most of our golf with, right? And this year I got invited to go to Sand Valley in July, and I think I know one person on that trip. And I had anxiety is the wrong word, because candidly, my friend who invited me, I love him, and selfishly, as someone who's usually the planner, having someone say, "Hey, here's the itinerary, here's the cost, all you got to do is say yes," I was like, "Fuck, that sounds really nice," right? It's like, "Oh yeah, and we're also gonna get to play the Lido in Sedge Valley." I'm like, okay, yes. But I am excited to continue to expand the friend group, right? Same idea, right? It's pretty much 18 new people I don't know at all, people from all over the country. And really just that continued sense of gratitude that golf, I do have some Larry David in me. I don't need new friends. I don't want new friends. I got plenty of friends, but golf finds this way to continue to kind of expand that circle. And I think that's really magical and special. And so, that's one component. And yeah, just more golf trips. And I think that's also helps a lot, because I think Liz and I had 9 weddings last year, everywhere from Tokyo to Cape Cod. And so I was kind of looking, and I was like, okay, wow, I'm going to Bandon in March. I got, the cookout in early May. I got Municipals in June. I got, Sand Valley in July. I'm like, holy shit, this is a run. But, that's kind of what I've wanted, right? To finally have some time to, of course, Liz and I are going to vacation and here, but to kind of really start to expand, right? Eventually I want to go international with you guys, just to start see more of the world, or just the country from a golf perspective. I'm really excited about. So those are kind of the 2 things, I guess, golf related. And I guess the last thing that I've not talked about on the podcast is, this was before I got laid off, right before, but, one thing that was really important to me was to try to figure out, this is going to sound cryptic. I don't mean it this way, but I don't really know how to say it another way. To try to figure out a very sustainable lifestyle. And what I mean by that is, I've definitely never talked about this here, but when I moved back to Atlanta in 2019, beginning of 2019, I was 198 pounds. I was with a doctor, I was pretty overweight for what my body shape and size should be. And when I lived in Atlanta, I spent a year, and I got my weight down to I think, basically I lost 40 pounds over the course of a year, essentially. But the way I did that is I went to the gym a lot. Like I was single, went to the gym a lot, and my crutch was essentially like it was Whole 30, which I think is great if your body needs a like hard reset. Whole 30 is a great way to do it. But the people who do Whole 30 tell you like that's not sustainable. Like you should maybe do Whole 30 once a year, right? A lot of people do Whole 30 to like figure out if you're intolerant of certain things. But like because I was single and I'm like very like stubborn and headstrong, I remember this one point I did Whole 30 for like 75 days. That's not how it's designed at all. So like my body was like in great shape, but when you're not eating dairy, carbs, alcohol, sugar, yeah, your body's going to respond really well to that. But that's not living your life. I mean, not that you have to have sugar and dairy and carbs and all this stuff, but that's not a sustainable way. Like, you can't have pizza. You can't go out with your friends. There's so many things you have to say no to. And when I moved back to San Francisco and I got in a relationship and stuff, I found it really hard because the only way I knew how to be healthy was this really, really, really restrictive diet. And since November 1st, I've been working with an online trainer, both from like a diet perspective and exercise. And I'm down 13 pounds since November. Like down 13 pounds, but also adding muscle and stuff. But the biggest thing to me and this is why I worked with this guy. I wanted to be able to learn something that was sustainable, right? Like essentially this sounds stupid, but I think this is also you can apply this to golf for people who are too stubborn to take lessons. I was like, can you teach me how to eat? Seriously. Like I don't know how to eat. Like I either am off Whole 30 and I can have whatever the fuck I want and I gain weight, or I'm on Whole 30 and fine. But like there's gotta be a middle ground, right? Like I actually need help to understand how to eat in a sustainable way where I can both enjoy myself. Like nobody who hangs out with me now would be like, "Are you on a diet?" No one would say that because I'm not on a diet. Like I'm just learning how to eat in a way that like my body is receptive to. And so I've made great strides. And candidly, it's also been a great time because being unemployed, I've been able to kind of throw myself into this. But one of my biggest goals this year is as life picks up and I get a job and the stresses of life come up, is to I've learned these skills and to be able to continue to put them into my life, even when things are stressful, right? It's not like shit's a mess. Now I need a Big Mac, right? Again, I can eat a Big Mac sometimes, but I'm just saying like to be able to continue to be like sustainable habits. And I want to shoot that at the lens of whether that's the stack system or flexibility. I remember my dad said when I was a kid, I was like, I'm going to work out. I'm going to do 200 push-ups. My dad would say, do 50. Because if you do 200 today, you're going to do 200 push-ups today and 0 tomorrow. But if you do 25 today and 25 tomorrow and 25 the next day, like my dad to this day, I think this started when he was in the military, Jack. My dad has done 50 push-ups and 50 sit-ups every single day since he was like 18. And he does more than that, right? But he's like, you set a standard that you can do, right? Like for you, Chris, 5 minutes of stretching, right? You can do, but if you say you're going to stretch for an hour, you're not going to stretch, right? You're not, right? So if I say I'm going to do the stack every day, I'm not going to do the stack. If I do stack twice a week, I can do it, right? So I think that's a good frame of reference for us, right? Whatever we're doing, just pick a number that you can do. Don't make it like super easy where it's like, Chris, you're going to stretch once a month. Like, okay, that's great, but like you're probably not going to get very flexible. But stretch for 5 minutes, right? Like tell yourself, when my daughter is doing this, I'm going to stretch, right? You can do that. You can totally do that. So I think that's kind of my overall lens is like, it's the year of accountability for us, but for me, it's sustainability, right? It's not like, I gained club head speed and I lost it all. I lost weight and I put it back on. No, no, no. I'm not saying we're going to be like, it's just like getting to that baseline, understanding where you are, working your ass off to get there, and then just working every day to keep yourself there, right? I'm not going to be at 130 club head speed. And that'd be sick. But like, I'm not, right? But if I get to
It'd be so
119,
sick.
it would. But like realistically, like if I hit my max at 119, cool, then work hard to stay at 119, right? But don't get to 119 and then never do the stack again. So that's a lot of words, but like it's interesting because that goes back. Ironically, I guess November was the starting point for us starting to do things, right? But we've been laying the seeds, and we just have to make sure that we keep going. And That's why I like doing this pod with you guys because, to your point, Jack, we should all screenshot from our notes app, share it with each other, and just check in, right? Like next time I see you, Jack, like, hey, how's that thing going? Big. Every time you call me after, when you call me on the way home from work, big. How's stretching been this week, right? Hold ourselves accountable and have sustainable habits. I think those are my biggest
I'll
goals.
call you while I'm stretching.
There you go. Perfect. There you go.
That's my new rule. I don't get a call if I'm stretching. So you're gonna have the old weird sounds.
Well, so now I can't decide if I want to stretch all the time or not at all. But yeah, so I know that's kind of an abstract goal, but it's like, I don't know. It's just, I get really headstrong about setting a goal, but then it's like, yeah, but then you just have to maintain, right? Maintenance is just as important as all the effort to get you there. But yeah, I think that all our goals are reasonable. And I think with us all as accountability partners, we can get there. So that's kind of what's top of mind for me. Again, some of that's golf related, but I just want to make sure that when it's August 1st, I have the kind of same mindset that I have now.
Yeah, August 1st, we're cruising at 120. We're only like 5 yards behind JD.
Big is so flat that like it's like he takes his swing back and it's like below his waist. No, that's me being a dick. I'm sorry. We're gonna get you back up, Big.
Laying it out.
Well,
no, it's already.
There have been a couple of videos you post where I'm like, he's flat. He might be too flat, but he's certainly flat.
No, it's intentional. That's a reason it's there.
No, but I mean, so much of a golf change is you have to like everything feels awful when you change, right? You have to over exaggerate that feeling.
Yep.
And you have how many swings do you have doing this? 1 million.
Yeah.
1 million.
Yeah, you have to train your brain to be able to get out of it, but it's working out. But I think the Municipals are on track. Get some good goals this year. I think we're expanding the brand itself in the proper ways and in good ways, and I'm really excited for this year. So
let's do it,
guys. This would be a good time. I'm excited.
Yes, sir. I'm stoked, dudes.
Also, as we get out of here, I just have to kick the anthill about one thing that's been driving me crazy. In-N-Out is terrible. Like, In-N-Out sucks. And watching those guys shit their pants after In-N-Out, I'm like, yeah, like, no shit.
I'm not going to lie to you. I was born and raised in California, and I am probably be the only Californian that I'll ever speak up that In-N-Out is absolute overrated dog shit. Like, the burgers, decent.
Yeah, brother.
Decent. Burgers are decent. But, I mean, if you have fries that are a monstrosity, like In-N-Out offers, it's just, you can't call yourself a good burger joint if you don't have fries. And their fries are worse than Five Guys, and Five Guys has horrible fries.
I kind of like Five Guys fries. But I don't know. I mean, I think the hard part with In-N-Out is, like, I'm a stand for, like, look, I hate Chick-fil-A's politics. But, like, I love Chick-fil-A, and I know it's just fried chicken. But there's something about, like, I've just never... I don't hate, like, I just don't think it's very good. I don't think it's a hill that people should die on. And then watching, like, Tom Kim almost miss his tee time because he shit his pants because of In-N-Out, and then Jordan Spieth signed the wrong scorecard because of In-N-Out, and then Tiger probably gets sick because of In-N-Out. It's like, I don't know. Maybe In-N-Out is not where it's at, but I'm sorry for the California people, but...
What was the Jordan Spieth thing? I didn't hear about that part.
Apparently Spieth was about to shit his pants and like sign for the wrong scorecard because he was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. He pulled the big C. And
no.
Again, these guys are saying it's the flu, but like Tom Kim, if you go to the PGA Tour's Twitter, Tom Kim said he almost missed his tee time, and he said, "I'm never eating In-N-Out ever again." That was Tom Kim's quote. So I'm just saying, Spieth signs for the wrong card because he has to go to the bathroom. Tom Kim almost misses his tee time. Tiger has flu-like symptoms after, on Shotgun Start, they said he, quote, housed In-N-Out. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like.
Well, in Tom Kim's, it talks about how badly he eats while on tour. I mean, he eats how much he loves the Taco Bell menu. So,
Yeah.
if you're housing Taco Bell while on tour and In-N-Out is giving you the shits, that's not a good look for In-N-Out. That's not a good look, dude.
It's not. But again, I know I'm a hypocrite because, like, I love Chick-fil-A, I love Waffle House, but I don't know. I've just had all this In-N-Out discourse, and I'm just saying it's not for me. But again, if you like In-N-Out, that's fine. But I just wanted to kick, after all this positivity, I wanted to kick the anthill on the way out and be like, I don't know. Let's open up an In-N-Out on the land of Sharp Park. I'm kidding. Kind of kidding. But any hot takes y'all want to get out before we get out of here? I'm joking. I'm seriously joking.
No, you pissed everybody off towards the end.
There you go. Alistair McKenzie really designed this In-N-Out so well with all these contours. You can't even see the when you walk out of the In-N-Out, you can't even see the fries. Isn't it crazy how he did this? I will say the one time In-N-Out has not ever been great for me, but I will say after I think on our first golf trip when we were like so hungry, that In-N-Out was good. So
second golf trip.
Now I'm talking out of both sides.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's that picture of Big just like housing a whole box of In-N-Out fries and burger.
Well, if I remember, he bought like way too much, and then you were like, "Okay, I'll have your leftovers."
Yeah.
In the car, and he was like, "I over purchased," and Jack's like, "Well, I mean, I'll eat your extra burger, Big."
Well, because Jack also bought a
canned chicken. Canned chicken.
So I had to feed him.
So bad.
The hot take. Oh no. Man! All right, well we're signing off.
I was like, Pax just cut all this out. This is garbage. I shouldn't have brought up In-N-Out, but gentlemen, I'm excited to look back on this. Yeah, we'll hold each other accountable. Big, you're gonna stretch. Jack, I forgot all your goals. Just kidding. But we're gonna keep on going. So, gentlemen, we'll talk to you soon.
Sure.
Peace.